Well, grace and peace. The Lord bless you, everybody. Come on in, begin hitting the share button. Everybody, if you're on Facebook, hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and then share this video with a friend of yours. Share it with somebody that you know needs to be a part of something new and something fresh. Something God has called for. My goodness. Ordained. Again, if you are watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you are on Reformation Culture's YouTube channel, you can help us already tonight. Hit the subscribe button. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers tonight. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers tonight. Not necessarily tonight, but the goal is 1,000 subscribers, and you can help us do that. Just hit the subscribe button. The Lord bless you, everybody. Brittany, grace and peace, everybody. Athena, the Lord bless you. Sister Eloisa Noack, grace and peace. Dr. Ty, the Lord bless you. Prophetess Shira, Wanewa, Katrina, bless you, everybody. Come on in and begin sharing. Everybody do that for us. Everybody hit the share button. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, the Lord bless you. You're a guest tonight. The Reformation Culture thing, but I wanted to invite my people to come and to be a part of our conversation tonight. The Lord bless you, everybody. Let us know that you can hear me okay. If you are visiting with Reformation Culture for the first time virtually tonight, we're glad to have you, and don't make it your last time. Grace and peace. Come on in the room. Bless you, everybody. Let's see. The Lord bless you. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. The Lord is good. Everybody type this in the chat. God keeps his promises. Everybody type that in the chat. God keeps his promises. Sister Katrina Ingram, just one thing, drop that Y off of OUR, cut that Y off, and then we're good to go. Everybody do that. Kiki, bless you. Everybody type it in the chat. God keeps his promises. I was going to play a song on here tonight, but I know that YouTube is really strict about playing other folks' music. I was going to play a song, and it would God keeps his promises. God keeps his promises. Reformation Culture Church is God's idea, and the Lord told me at the top of the year. He said, "One season has ended and another is beginning." The Lord made me a promise. He said, "I will do more in 12 months than you've seen in the last 12 years if you obey me." So I obeyed God, and Amos chapter number 9 has been our church's prophetic promise. Let me read it to you, just in case you haven't heard it. Amos chapter number 9 and the Message Bible. The Message Bible translates the message really good. Amos chapter number 9 and verse number 13. Yes, indeed, it won't be long now. God's decree. Things are going to happen so fast your head will swim. One thing fast on the heels of the other, you won't be able to keep up. Everybody type in the chat, things are happening so fast. Everybody type that in the chat. Things are happening so fast. Sister Sean, grace and peace. Sean said, I'm cutting in and out. Am I cutting in and out on anybody else? Everybody else hear me okay? Maine in the house. So glad to have you. Things are happening So fast. Now, that does this sometimes. What about now? How do I sound now? Y'all let me know. Things are happening so fast. And I prophesy that the same grace that is on Reformation Culture Church is coming upon your house. That the same grace that is on our house will come upon your house. That you will enter into a season of blessings upon blessings upon blessings, one thing after another. You won't be able to keep up. And so we began declaring when we launched Reformation Culture Church, we began declaring that God would do it swift and fast. And we, of course, have been meeting in hotels. And we have on Tuesday nights, we're renting space from another church. Our first night there, we declare we will not be here long. Grace and peace, everybody. Our first day at the hotel, we declare we will not be here long. On the first day that we launched the church, 34 new members joined. In the first month of March, 72, 72 new members joined. 18 in the month of April thus far joined. I believe we're at 60, 70 some odd in our e-church, Reformation Everywhere. There are people who have felt the call of God to move across the country, to come here to Houston, to join Reformation Culture Church, moving from New Jersey and moving from Alabama, moving from Georgia, moving from Florida. God's promises are sure when you obey God. And we are in anticipation of God continuing to accelerate us. Our feet are on the gas pedal, and there is no slowing down in us because we've got more to do than we have time to do it in. God told me, He said, to establish a house that would reform culture, activate gifts, and teach people to embody Christ. And He said that this would be a movement and not just a moment. That though we are headquartered in Houston, Texas, we are Reformation everywhere around the world. And we have members of our e-church community, and our e-church is not just streaming, it is a community indeed. And we have a very strong e-church community across the world, in New Zealand, in London, in Europe. We have Reformation Everywhere members all across the United States of America. We have Reformation Everywhere members in Africa. God has given us a phenomenal team in leaders that are working. And let me tell y'all something. Our Reformation Culture associate pastors have been working behind the scenes and are working on the scenes. Our e-church pastor, associate pastor, prophetess Shira, doing a phenomenal job with Reformation Everywhere. Our executive pastor, Dr. Ty, she was working today up at the church today, meeting with contractors, and we are on the move. God has given us an assignment, and it's time to occupy. And so when the Lord spoke to us, we said, hey, we're not going to be in this place long. We're in a tabernacle season, but we will not be there long. And we have done the tabernacle season in excellence. We've done it well, but we are calling that season swiftly to come to an end. And so, days, in less than 45 days, God has given us our own church. And I'm going to show you all tonight. I'm going to walk you all through tonight. And then I'm going to come back with another announcement after we watch this. Everybody right now, it's 115 of you in total on. Everybody hit the share button right now. I need everybody to do it. Everybody to do it. And then I need everybody to hit the like button. Hit that thumbs up. Don't put a thumbs up emoji. Press the like button. Wherever you're watching from, if you're on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, everybody do that swiftly. Everybody do it swiftly. What is the area like? The area, Houston. Let me tell you something. Houston is where God dwells. Houston is God is here. Glory to God. He is here. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to take us through a little bit. Mother Hogan's, the Lord bless you. Listen, today I appointed a couple of mothers to our e-church mothers board. Of course, we've got Mother Crooms in Houston, and there are other mothers we'll be adding. We also now in Reformation everywhere have Mother Dorothy Hogan's and Mother Alita Butts, sainted women of God who are among our elders and saved seniors. God has given us every generation in this church, whether you're young or you're old, got an assignment here. If you are aged, you're not coming here to retire, you're coming here to refire. And we're refiring you to an assignment and a different assignment. So we honor the Lord. All right, let's go through, let's watch what God has done for Reformation Culture Church. Grace and peace is Bishop Sinegal, and I am standing in what is Reformation Culture Church. God has done his big one very swiftly. It's been less than 45 days. And the word of the Lord to us was Amos chapter number 9, that things would happen so swiftly, he would cause our heads to swim. So I want to take you through our headquarters. The space we are standing in right now will be our children's area, where we're going to begin to teach and train reformers at a young age. And so we are creating space there. Also on this side will be space for our teens and our middle-aged kids. I don't know if middle-aged kids is a thing, but those. And so our kids and our young people will be in that same area. This will be a space both for my office as well as our conference room for training and development, so that as I am doing teaching, is not just in the church space, but in this space. We're reforming the way that our gifts and our gifted people think about and process what their assignment is beyond just pulpit ministry, genuinely doing the work of reformation. Here will be our administrative offices. Our executive pastor and the A team will work here to ensure that the administration of our church is strong and solid. We're calling this area the den. And as people move through this area, we'll probably have a couple of high top tables where they can have coffee or something in between services. We'll probably have some church merchandise available for them in this area. And then here will be our main sanctuary. We're going to run a wall across this space where we are there all the way over, so that we can create a lobby here as people are coming in through that space. This here will be a space where we're not only in worship and not only in teaching and training, but it'll allow us to go throughout the world with our preaching and teaching. And then this space will be our hospitality suite. When visitors are visiting with us for the first time, we're going to bring them here. When we have guest speakers, they'll be in this space. When members join this church, they'll be coming into this space. So we're being intentional about maximizing
all of the square footage that we have. And of course, as you can see, much work to be done. This carpet isn't worth nothing. It's got to come up out of here. Again, there's some walls we've got to get added into the space. Our media team will be in the room there. We're going to build out a space here for our sound booth, and of course, build up the altar there in the front for our band and for our pastoral leadership team. And this space is for this phase of what we've been called to do, our headquarters and our home. This cannot be done without your partnership. And so as we have launched Operation Occupy, you can see that this is going to take resources, and we need your help. Go to reformationculture.com, click on Give, and let us know that we're not doing this by ourselves. I'll see you in the sanctuary.
And so God has been good. However, scratch everything you just heard about what those rooms are, because I'm getting ready to take y'all through. I'm going to take y'all through something else. A part of Reformation Culture's vision, of course, again, we have a very strong e-church, and we have a very strong digital presence. Matthew 28 commands us to go into all of the world. That looks very different in 2025 than in 1985. And we have, by the grace of God, been given wisdom and insight on how to use the digital space. And we are pioneering and doing something cutting edge with our e-church component, that our e-church is, again, not just streaming services. It is a functional church community. And those who are members of Reformation Everywhere are as much a part of this church as those that are in Houston. And so a part of our vision is Reformation Studios, which is a space where we'll do podcasting, where we will do digital content creation, or we'll also be able to create opportunities for other churches and ministries and small businesses who need to create content at an excellent level to scale at a reasonable rate to be able to do that. And then there are we've got kids, and I said, we were trying to figure out how we were going to lay it out. I reached out to Dr. Ty, our executive pastor. I said, let's look at the space next to us, which is about another 800, 900 square feet. Because I said, I don't want us to lose any space with our children, and I don't want us to lose any space with taking away from the offices. And so we have also now secured an additional 800, 900 square feet right in the same space. We're going to be creating a door so that Reformation Studios will be put right there, as well as our offices there. So now maybe I'll walk you through it and pause it and tell you what's going to be where that way.
Grace
so
and
that
peace
you all
is Bishop
can
Sinegal.
see. All right, so let's see. So the space that I'm standing in this video, this space is now going to be our lobby. Okay, so this space that I'm standing in the video in, this will be our main entrance, and this will be our church's lobby area. We're going to put a welcome center there. It will be our bookstore. We'll have Reformation merchandise in this space. There'll be chairs that you can sit. Of course, we're going to make it excellent. So this whole space will now be our lobby. The gray wall that you see right there, on the other side of that wall is where our my office is going to move, as well as some of our administrative offices. On the other side of that gray wall is where Reformation Studios are going to be. All right, on the other side of that gray wall is where Reformation Studios are going to be. All right. So right on that side of that wall is where Reformation Studios will be. This room here will be for our teens, and this will be a multi-purpose space, conference room, etc. This room that we're walking into now will be our children's room. So you can see how expansive it is. On the other side of that black wall is where my office is going to be, and some of our administrative offices are going to be. We're going to make a door and move some of this wall so that we will have space on the other side there. All right. So this whole space is going to be for the children. We want to make sure that we are training and developing, raising reformers at a young age and at every age, and being intentional about raising up kingdom-minded people in these formative years. So this space will now be the children's space. This next space is going to be our nursery for our babies. And so that window will be opened there. We're going to, of course, be changing the color schemes in all of these rooms, make it conducive. This will be a nursery space for our little babies to be able to come into. This den, of course, will be the hallway. There's going to be a door put on the right side of this hallway. Right here in this gray area to the right, there's going to be a door put there that'll take us into the hospitality suite. Hospitality will be for our first-time visitors. Every Sunday, we're going to have a visitors reception. Every Sunday, we will have a visitors reception. Every Sunday, we'll take in new members there. And then whenever we have guest speakers coming in, they will go. All right. And then, of course, this whole area now, we're not going to be building a wall in here. We're going to leave this wide open. This whole area is going to be the sanctuary. And the only thing we'll be building to add in there is a sound booth right here in this area, this back wall where the video stopped at to your left. We'll add a sound booth there. On the other side of this wall is where our media room will be at, where all of our screens for the cameras, etc. Our media team will be inside of that room, and this will remain wide open. This door, the door that's on the other side, now what we're going to do, because Reformation culture will have to go to 2 services very swiftly. I need a "it is so" in the chat. All my prophetic people type "it is so." It is so. It is so. Reformation culture will have to go to 2 services very swiftly. And so, after I said to Dr. Ty, I said, we need to get another space. I initially reached out to property management, and they didn't want to do what I was asking them to do. They didn't want to do the rate I was asking. And anybody that knows me, I got an anointing for cheap and plenty. We're gonna look like $1 million and pay half. You know, we're gonna look like $1 million and pay half. And Dr. Ty said, well, Bishop, why don't you reach out and ask them about this for both of those spaces? I said, well, let me see if they're going to say to this. So they responded and initially said no to me. But anybody, all of my Reformation folk know I got a motto. No is not an acceptable answer when yes is required. No is not an acceptable answer when a yes is required. And so she said no. And I got on a plane. I was in New York. I texted her again. I said, "Now, you sure?" I said, "Y'all know y'all need to come on and do X, Y, and Z." And she said to me, she said, well, she said, the manager said, if you can come in today and sign, she said, we'll do it. I said, well, I'm in New York. I can't do it today, but I will see y'all Monday, and y'all are going to hold on to that deal for me. So God has given us tremendous favor. He has given us tremendous favor. And I prophesy that we are in the days of tremendous favor. And that every one of you that are connected to this church, you are moving into the days of tremendous favor. You are moving into the time of tremendous favor. So now that God has blessed us and given us a home, and this is a home for this phase of our church, I've got a sneaky suspicion we will outgrow it swiftly, and I've got a plan for that too. We've got a plan for that too. But while we are here, we are going to make this space excellent. And those of you all that are part of the Prophets Arise community, Prophets Arise currently does not have a physical headquarters. And so Reformation Culture Church will also serve as a headquarters for our broadcasting for Prophets Arise until Prophets Arise gets its own space. We are going to maximize this space. And we're going to do much beyond preaching and teaching and training and developing conferences. We'll be doing digital discipleship. I'm excited about so Reformation Studios will also be a functioning content creation studio that will also produce a stream of income into and for the church, and will allow the church to create space for Christian content creators, other churches, other ministries who don't have the equipment or the space but need space. Will be able to be a space for them, and will be able to give them access at a fraction of what they might otherwise have to spend. And so the next step, we now have to renovate and outfit. So we are launching, everybody type in the chat, Operation Occupy. Everybody type that in the chat, Operation Occupy. Operation Occupy. God has given us a space. God has kept his word, as God always does. And so now what we have to give back to the Lord is our stewardship. We are launching Operation Occupy. Now we've got to get into the space. We've taken possession. We've got the keys. Well, I get the keys to the other part tomorrow. What is today? Monday. But now we must occupy. And this is where I need your partnership and I need your help. Of course, we have everything we do. If you follow me, one of the things you are going to learn is I move with extreme faith. I move swiftly. I move at the speed of the instruction of the Lord. I do not consult natural realities first, but I do count up the costs. The scriptures challenge us. The Bible says that what man sets out to build a tower without first counting up the cost to ensure he has enough to finish it. And so there's a degree of stewardship and responsibility that we've got to be intentional about counting our dollars to ensure that we can finish what it is that we are starting. And so as we get ready to undertake Operation Occupy, I need your partnership, and I need your help, and I need your resources. If you are receiving of this ministry, whether here in Houston or wherever you are, you've discerned both by grace and by experience that there is something unique and something powerful, something revolutionary that God has placed on this ministry, that we are not just another church. We are not just doing church, that we are called to minister to the whole man at every dimension of the man's being, spirit, soul, and body. We're not done with, there's another component of our vision called the R12-2 Center for Mind Renewal. And God has got to give us space for that. It'll be a fully functional counseling and therapy center where we will have Christian counselors and therapists. Our executive pastor is a psychologist currently completing some certification so that she will be able to supervise and train other therapists and counselors. That Reformation culture is going to produce cognitive reformers. where we are not just reforming by preaching the gospel, but there's some cognitive reconstructing and reforming that has to happen to ensure that we are wholly, WHOLLY, moving into the plan and purposes of God. And that is going to take resources. And so Operation Occupy is a 30-day campaign. Here goes extreme faith. Everybody type in the chat. Here goes extreme faith. Here goes extreme faith. Here we go. Here goes extreme faith. We are launching a campaign to raise $150,000 in 30 days. Everybody type in the chat. That's no money. That's no money. That's no money. That's no money. That's little money. We are launching today, Operation Occupy, 150K in 30 days. And I'm believing by faith that God is raising up men and women, businesses even, that will see the vision, discern the vision, and will say, I'm going to put my resources into that vision. One of the things that I have promised you all, I don't play money games, and I don't manipulate you into giving by guilt or coercion or even by prophetic manipulation. I don't need to do that. I believe that God has assigned to this church and has assigned to my voice men and women of God who understand biblical principles and who do not need games and who do not need any of that to give, but understands biblical principles and can see. Listen, vision takes money. And because we have such a vision in the digital space, we're talking about cameras, and we're talking about lighting, and we're talking about digital licensing. We're talking about new flooring. We're talking about having to move walls and put up new doors. We're talking about having to build out the altar there in the sanctuary, hopefully able to raise part of the ceiling there in the sanctuary. We're having to, of course, put furnishing in all of our spaces. We want to make sure that our children's ministry is top notch and excellent. We want to make sure that our administrative suite, top notch and excellent. We want to make sure that Reformation Studios, again, this is not only for ministry, but we are wise, and we are also doing business in the area of ministry, that we have top notch equipment that will invite people to want to use our content production spaces. And so I am calling on you, some of you all that are listening tonight, I'm challenging you to make a pledge tonight. Now, here's what's going to happen. Your pledge is simply you saying, Bishop, I am committing to sow this much to Operation Occupy. You don't have to give the offering tonight unless you're ready to do that. And then I want to encourage you to do that, because we need to start getting started with our renovations immediately. But it's saying, Bishop, here's what you can count on. I have to count up the cost. That's what the scriptures tells me, that I have to count up the cost. And so I need to know who's with me, and I need to know the resources that are at our disposal. Some of you are able to give $10,000. Some of you are able to give $5,000. Some of you are able to give $1,000. I am challenging you that at whatever degree your faith and ability can come into agreement, that you will meet us for Operation Occupy. And so tonight we are dropping there in the chat. There's a link in the chat. There is a link in the chat. And I want everybody tonight to click on that link and fill out the form to make your pledge, to make your vow. I want everybody to fill out the form to make your pledge and to make your vow. We need to know who is with us. We need to be able to plan based on who is pledging and making a vow. Some people, hear me, people have already begun giving significant seed to the Operation Occupy campaign. The day I got the keys, I was sitting down with a spiritual sister, a colleague in ministry. She and her team began to sow several $1,000s. A stranger literally overhears me talking about it and says, I don't know all the details, but can I, sow over $2,000 to the Reformation Culture Church's Operation Occupy. So I'm asking you tonight, I need everybody tonight to make your pledge. I need to know what we are working with. I need to know who's with me. And listen, if you don't have financial resources to give, don't be guilted. I'm challenging those who have it to give. To whom much is given, much is required. And so don't feel guilty. You can't give what you don't have to give. But here's what you do: you get in faith that God will put resources in your hands to be able to give according to your degree of faith and according to the desire of your heart. All right. And so you get in faith with us. Those of you all who are able to, again, I want you to go fill out that form tonight. Fill out that form tonight and let us know. I need you to say to me, and go to 2 Corinthians chapter 8. Let me show you what the Bible says. 2 Corinthians chapter 8. 2 Corinthians chapter number 8. Dr. Ty and Prophetess Shira, are y'all camera available? Are y'all camera available? If so, I'm about to send you a link to join me up here. If not, I understand. Now, listen, those of you all who are part of Reformation Culture Church, you follow my faith. All right, you follow my faith. I don't want to hear no doubt. I don't want to hear any fear. I don't move in that realm. I don't hear 150K in 30 days. Oh my goodness, I don't know how that's possible. Don't come over here with that. Don't come over here with that. All right, Prophetess Shira, I sent you a link. I sent you a link. And Dr. Ty sent you a text to y'all. Y'all, if you're able to come on and join me, I didn't think about it earlier. So again, link is there in the chat. Fill out the here we go. The doc.
Praise him, Bishop.
Where does there we go. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Yes, sir.
Are you excited about Operation Occupy?
I'm absolutely elated. I can't wait. I'm already mind blown about what God has already done, and I'm expecting him to do so much more over these next 30 days. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's going to do it swiftly. Who's breaking up? Am I breaking up? Can you hear me okay? Y'all let me know. So those of you who have not met, this is Dr. Ty. This is our executive pastor. She's doing a phenomenal job because she was up at the church working today. Some of our team, y'all know Dr. Ty's been working all week, and she got some of my spirit. She's been late night. Y'all been getting 12:30, 1 a.m. emails. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work. That's it. We don't worry about money. Money's the least thing. 2 Corinthians chapter number 8. Let me read this. 2 Corinthians chapter number 8 and verse number 5. 2 Corinthians chapter number 8 and verse number 5. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1. We'll work our way down. Moreover, brethren, we do you to wit of the grace of God bestowed on the churches in Macedonia. And verse number 5. How that in a great trial of affliction. 2 Corinthians chapter number 8. Prophetess, do you have another something playing in the back? Hit that mute.
I'm so sorry.
Matter of fact, listen to this, and then I'll come right back to you. Listen to this. How that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches of their liberality. So look at this. This is a church that is financially challenged. And the Bible says, as their challenges abound, it abounds unto the riches of their liberality. And I want you to see that it says it was a grace that was bestowed. Everybody say, I type in the chat, I received the grace of giving. Giving is a supernatural grace. God will supernaturally equip you to be able to give. Now look at this. For to their power, verse 3, I bear record, yea, and beyond their power. So he's saying there was something supernatural involved here, because they have gone far beyond their own abilities. it says, number one, they were willing of themselves. So the first thing when we begin to take on a faith challenge, you got to have a willingness of mind. You got to have a willingness of heart. You got to have a willingness of spirit. Your prayers got to be, Lord, put resources in my hand. Give me the faith and the grace to be able to undergird what you have assigned us to do. Verse 4, praying us with much entreaty that we would receive the gift and take upon us the fellowship of the ministering of the saints. Paul said that this church, though they were financially challenged, they prayed, they begged the apostle, let us partner. Take this gift. Don't look at what our situation is. And look at what it says, verse 5. They did this not only as we hoped, but first they gave themselves to the Lord and then unto us. I want to read this in the Amplified Version, verse number 5. Not only did they give materially as we had hoped, but first they gave themselves to the Lord and to us as his representatives by the will of God, disregarding their personal interests and giving as much as they possibly could. So we urge Titus that as he began it, he should continue this grace among you as well. So hear me. Whenever God calls you to a church, he's first calling you to his will, his agenda, and then he assigns you to a man of God. Paul said they gave themselves first to the Lord and then secondly unto us as his representatives. Prophetess Shira, you excited about Operation Occupy?
I absolutely am. I tell you, I mean, this is so amazing and so exciting. I am so thankful to God for the opportunity to be a part of this mighty move, and such an amazing move of faith. I tell people all the time, when God is about to do something, he'll give us an example. He'll give us an example, a forerunner in our own individual lives as an example. And this is, like you said all the time, Bishop, you are the living witness. Reformation Culture Church is the living witness of what God is going to do in each and individual lives that are connected to this ministry, but around the world and around this country that believe in the vision, but also sow into vision. I tell people all the time, what we make happen for others, God will make happen for us. So as we build this house and God's house, God is actually going to build our house. I know that's actually what I am believing, that God will continue to build my house, bless my house as I help build this amazing vision. So I'm excited and I'm ready. And I have to say this, let's go, folks. Let's get it done.
Let's go. For those of you who haven't met, Prophetess Shira is our associate pastor for eChurch, for Reformation Everywhere, doing a phenomenal job in the eChurch space and with our eChurch community. Those of y'all who are a part of Reformation Everywhere, you've been speaking with her. We're putting together a phenomenal giving campaign team. And the thing I appreciate both about Dr. Ty, Prophetess Shira, if the minute stuff can hit me and I'm like, okay, we're doing this tonight. Y'all meet me tonight at 8:30. When God gives it to me, I give it to thee. And I appreciate that these two women of God are not just leading in word, they are leading in deed, and they are also leading in seed. And I appreciate the grace that is on them. So again, everybody tonight, I need you to make your pledge. We need to know, we got to count up the cost. And we, you know, there are people I saw online a few weeks ago. There was this whole thing going around talking about money and the church, and well, if they were in faith, they wouldn't be asking. Jesus said, before you build, count up the cost. That's what he said. He said, count up the cost, add stuff up. And so we are adding up what it's going to cost us, and we're adding up. And I am fully persuaded that we already have what we need to finish, and we go beyond our goal to ensure that our church and this headquarters, this is more than just a space for a church gathering, but this is a headquarters for Reformation that will spring out here in Houston, but will spring out through the nations of this world. And we are excited about it. We're excited about it. This Friday, of course, well, what is today? Saturday. Next Friday. Well, Friday coming. Let me say it like that. Friday coming. May the 2nd is Night of the Supernatural. And so we are also preparing a 5-day prayer campaign, fasting and prayer, beginning on Sunday. So our fast begins Sunday night at 8 p.m. All right. And from Monday through Friday, you'll only eat from 6 to 8 p.m. One meal a day. You're fasting the rest of the day. Also, we are launching for the Operation Occupy a 30-day prayer campaign. I reached out to our chief intercessor for Prophets Arise, spiritual daughter evangelist Renita Huff, and then, of course, our lead ambassador for prayer and intercession for Reformation Culture, Elder Designate Karen Turner. They're putting together a combined intercessory prayer team to cover this in prayer. Everything we do is going to be immersed in, baptized in the spirit of prayer, so that whatever may attempt to come in the realm of the spirit, we are confronting it there first as God begins to unfold and unlock things in the natural as well. And so this whole time, this is, everybody type in the chat, this is spiritual. We are not just raising money. We are establishing a footprint. We are occupying a space both in the natural, but also in the realm of the spirit over this city. Now, one of the things we have watched over the last couple of years is the way the state of Texas, with spiritual leaders, has constantly been in the news with great scandal and embarrassment. But I want you to notice how God has been, especially in the city of Houston, bringing national and global prophetic voices into the city and into this region to set up a stronghold. That must be a prophetic sign and indicator to every one of us that God is preparing to spring up revival out of this state, out of this city, and through the nation. So this is spiritual, and I am counting on every one of you. If you're a digital disciple, we are building with you in mind. We are working with you in mind as well, ensuring that we've got top-notch technology in the space so that you can experience this ministry from wherever you are and around the world. I see some of our Reformation relocation members, some of the members that are moving to Houston there in the chat. Got to see, while I was in New York this weekend, Sister Tasha Hampton drove 2 hours to come from Jersey and be with us there. So many Prophets Arise members came and met me in New York over the weekend, and I am looking forward to it. Y'all got any other thoughts, anything before we challenge everybody again to go hit that pledge link tonight?
Bishop, in addition to the pledging, I want to ask, I'm hoping we can challenge all of our members, current and future members, to sow a follow subscription and to invite at least 5 people that you know to also subscribe. We need subscriptions and we need those follows as well so that we can expand our visibility. And so there's so many that the people of God can sow and contribute to the work that we are doing, even through something as simple as sowing. So please do that. There is no cost associated with your subscription, no cost at this point associated with your follow. And so I would all like to ask everybody to please subscribe to our Reformation Culture Church page as well, and invite people that you know to do the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you haven't done it, do it right now. Hit that subscribe. We're running for 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and our Facebook numbers. You all are doing exceptional over there on Facebook. So do that tonight. Pastor David Allen Taylor, good to see you there in the chat. If you're free this Friday, come and be with us for Night of the Supernatural. This coming Friday, May the 2nd. It's going to be a powerful time. Some of y'all that may watch this later, if you are demon oppressed, you, your family, if you have been under the yoke of oppression, you need to come and get in the environment, get free from that. You've been needing the word of the Lord, counsel, direction. You need to come and be in the space. I'm excited. One of my favorite worship leaders from Chicago. You all know Chicago's second home for me. And again, Chicago, we will be there very soon. Y'all listen to what I'm saying. God is giving Reformation Culture an assignment throughout the nation. And so stay tuned. But Pastor Takira Kiki Milton will be with us on Friday. She is a worshiper indeed and is going to break open the heavens. I'm believing God's going to give us the grace to lay hands for the working of miracles. for healing and deliverance. We see it happen all the time. It is no surprise, and we are out to normalize the supernatural. If you are in faith with us, thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining me up here tonight. If you are in faith with us, I want you to get in the chat and say, I'm with Operation Occupy. Let us know in the chat that you're with us. Type it there in the chat. I'm with Operation Occupy. It is time for us to occupy, and we are going to do this well, and we're going to do it by faith. Type it in the chat. Let us know. Let us know that you are with us. Over the next coming days, you'll be seeing more content as we're going to be keeping you all up to date with what's happening here in Houston and the renovation. We're going to be keeping you up to date. We're going to be keeping you up to date. All right. And I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to stay connected. I want to encourage you to stay connected to what God is charging and challenging Reformation culture to do. All right. I see y'all in the chat. I see you there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't leave me out here by myself. We've got a work to do. No one person can do it all. Although, if one person wants to write a $150,000 check, you obey God. But I'm not expecting one person to do it. I'm expecting every person do your part. Whether your part is $100, whether your part is $500, whether your part is $1,000, whether your part is 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000, whatever it is, this is good ground, and you will see the fruit of your labor. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. It blesses me when y'all remind me that you are walking with me. You all are a fulfillment of a prophetic word from God to me, and we are watching him do it, and it is a constant blessing. Sunday night, Embers Prayer Gathering. If you're in Houston, meet us at the DoubleTree Hotel, 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not in Houston, if you're a part of Reformation Everywhere eChurch, you'll get the link in your email for how you can join us by way of Zoom. We don't stream publicly Sunday night. Of course, right after our prayer gathering, we have Reformation Orientation. New members class. Every member must take new members class. Whether you're a Houston member or you're an eChurch member, every member must take new members orientation. So plan to be with us Tuesday night. This coming Tuesday is a special edition of our Blueprints Bible study. It's Ask the Bishop. Bring your questions from what we've been teaching over the last month. So many of y'all have shared some powerful questions with me in between. And so I want to encourage you, bring your questions this Tuesday night. You'll be able to join us online. We're going to take questions online. We're going to take questions in the sanctuary. It's going to be a powerful time of conversation like it always is. Deke, good to see you. Good to see you. So again, every Sunday night, 6 p.m., Tuesday night Bible study, 7:15 p.m. Tuesday nights, we are at 390 Glenborough Drive. 390 Glenborough Drive. We are using someone else's church on Tuesday nights. Sunday night, we are at the DoubleTree Hotel North, 15747 JFK Boulevard. But we will not be in there too long. We are not giving hotels money much longer. Matter of fact, even before we get into the sanctuary, as soon as I can get my hand on some chairs, we're moving Sunday night prayer to our church, and we're going to be in there until we get it renovated on Sunday nights at least. I don't want to keep giving away money to these hotels. We want to be wise stewards of what God has put in our hands. Our Reformation Everywhere members that are in other countries, I appreciate your liberality. I know that the currency exchange is different. And so I appreciate your generosity. However you're giving, whatever you're giving, it is a major seed that is helping us to do what we are charged and called to do. All right, y'all. I'm going to play the video for those who are just coming in, let you all see it one more time, and then we're getting off of here. It's time for us to occupy.
Grace and peace is Bishop Sinegal, and I am standing in what is Reformation Culture Church. God has done his big one very swiftly. It's been less than 45 days. And the word of the Lord to us was Amos chapter number 9, that things would happen so swiftly, he would cause our heads to swim. So I want to take you through our headquarters. The space we are standing in right now will be our children's area, where we're going to begin to teach and train reformers at a young age. And so we are creating space there. Also on this side will be space for our teens and our middle-aged kids. I don't know if middle-aged kids is a thing, but those. And so our kids and our young people will be in that same area. This will be a space both for my office as well as our conference room for training and development, so that as I am doing teaching, is not just in the church space, but in this space. We're reforming the way that our gifts and our gifted people think about and process what their assignment is beyond just pulpit ministry, genuinely doing the work of reformation. Here will be our administrative offices. Our executive pastor and the A team will work here to ensure that the administration of our church is strong and solid. We're calling this area the den. And as people move through this area, we'll probably have a couple of high top tables where they can have coffee or something in between services. We'll probably have some church merchandise available for them in this area. And then here will be our main sanctuary. We're going to run a wall across this space where we are there all the way over, so that we can create a lobby here as people are coming in through that space. This here will be a space where we're not only in worship and not only in teaching and training, but it'll allow us to go throughout the world with our preaching and teaching. And then this space will be our hospitality suite. When visitors are visiting with us for the first time, we're going to bring them here. When we have guest speakers, they'll be in this space. When members join this church, they'll be coming into this space. So we're being intentional about maximizing all of the square footage that we have. And of course, as you can see, much work to be done. This carpet isn't worth nothing. It's got to come up out of here. Again, there's some walls we've got to get added into the space. Our media team will be in the room there. We're going to build out a space here for our sound booth, and of course, build up the altar there in the front for our band and for our pastoral leadership team. And this space is for this phase of what we've been called to do, our headquarters and our home. This cannot be done without your partnership. And so as we have launched Operation Occupy, you can see that this is going to take resources, and we need your help. Go to reformationculture.com, click on Give, and let us know that we're not doing this by ourselves. I'll see you in the sanctuary.